Breaking news on Martyn Lucas Investor. We are looking at vertical aerospace. We've got a special guest who knows everything about vertical aerospace, so stay with us. But just to start it off, what a terrible day I've got to say for vertical aerospace. Well, at least in terms of the stock. Vertical aerospace has been absolutely hammered. Vertical aerospace is down 30% today. But we know exactly why, and we're going to tell you all about the news. Well, I don't really, but Vaz does. It was in our newsletter this morning. I read through it, but Vaz is the best person. He's where I got my information from. So he will be telling you why it's happened. I just want to quickly go into the chart for about a minute, and we'll get straight into the news as well, because that's the most important thing. So down 30% today, currently trading at $4.85. It has actually broken this upwards sloping trend line, but right now what we are looking at is potentially vertical aerospace finding some support where it found support back in June of 2025, 4th of June, also the 22nd of May, and where it broke out from on the 13th of May. So there is a little bit of hope that we get a bounce from these levels we're at currently. If we don't get the bounce from where we are at currently, then my next target for vertical aerospace is $3.53. So would I be buying vertical aerospace right now, right here? Well, before I answer that, I'm going to say nothing I'm saying in this video, or nothing that we say during this video, is financial advice. This is our thoughts and opinions only. Please do not buy or sell based on anything I'm saying or we're saying, and that will be a terrible idea. We have no idea what your situation is. Remember, vertical aerospace is also a fairly small company at a market cap of 410 million. But would I be buying here? Well, I would be. Why? Well, because I like to buy on fear. We're down 30%. Vaz is going to tell you about the news. You can make your own decision. But we are down 30%. We are at potential level of support. I would be keeping some on the side just in case we go lower to my next target of $3.50. Am I going into this thinking this is going to be my best investment ever? Well, I don't know. This might be my best investment ever. Vertical aerospace might go to a market cap in the billions alongside its rivals. But at the same time, this company can go to zero. So be prepared for all scenarios. I would certainly be buying around these levels and $3.50, but that's in my situation, my personal thoughts. But I'm also prepared for much lower prices in case the company goes bankrupt. Who knows? But let me bring you the person who knows everything about this, and that is Vaz, who is our EVTOL expert and knows quite a few things about vertical aerospace. Well, Vaz, welcome to the show.
Hello, Sensei. Thank you for having me on the show.
No worries at all. Thanks for being on the show. And well, what do you think about this? 30% down. That are you worried? Are you scared? Are you annoyed? What's your feelings towards it?
Well, it was kind of inevitable. There are some warrants to be exercised. There is some dilution already shelved. If you follow vertical aerospace, you just know what the company is, and you need to be in vertical for long term. You can't be trading vertical. You can't be just buy one day and sell the other, because the stock has been the most volatile on the eVTOL market. If you go a bit back to December, you can see even much bigger swing. We went to all-time low, or the time being all-time low, which was I think $3.40, and then we went all the way up to $15-16. So that's a bit, that just tells the story a bit.
Yeah.
But the company itself, let's not look at the, let's not buy the stock, but let's buy the company for long term. That's my thesis. That's my fundamentals, and I'm fairly bullish and positive on the company. What happened? Well, do you wanna talk? Or I don't want to take over your show.
No. I want to listen to what you have to say. I've said what I have to say about the stock, but yeah, Vaz did point out. Look back in December of 2024, where you hit that peak of $15 right after a few months after hitting your lowest price at $3.50. Once you hit that peak of $16, this stock went down 83%. So I know, Vaz, you said you don't trade the stock. You wouldn't be trading the stock. Personally, I have been when he first brought it to us, I was buying at $3.50. I said at $6.17, that's a potential area to sell off. Again, is that recommended for most people? No. But is there a strategy involved with trading it and trying to get more shares? Yes. But I agree with you. If you're looking at this stock and you want to get the main reason we're looking at this stock is not to be trading it day to day, is to see what the bigger picture is, and if we can see Vertical Aerospace being one of the top competitors and maybe going back to some valuations we've seen before at $100, or potentially that was after probably IPO'd for $10, but had a stock split. But anyway, getting to much higher valuations in the longer term. So what we need to do to understand the company is actually listen to what you have to say, Vaz. So I've got a video here. Do you want me to play it from the beginning or where we are right now?
Yeah, no, just play it from there.
Okay, well,
you're
go
saying
ahead, Vaz.
you're talking about trading. I just bought some shares yesterday about an hour before the closing bell.
Oh,
and then it just boo. I got the filing email, the notification from Vertical, and I'm just reading through it, and I'm like, okay. I got notification. Vertical Aerospace is down 10%, 10%, 10%.
Oh my God! What? Well,
Okay.
let us know next time you buy, and we will make sure we sell our position.
But as I said, I'm following the fundamentals. I know what the management have been doing because I've been following the company for a while. I know, I don't want to say I know the ins and outs of the company, but I know their target, I know their business strategy, and I'm fairly confident in the management, in the new management. Since Stuart Simpson has taken over as the CEO, they have been doing massive progress. For me as a long-term investor, again, it's not financial advice, as you say. I don't want to affect or influence anyone, but it's good entry point for me again to get into the stock, because I was feeling a bit FOMO yesterday when I saw your analysis and I saw the chart going up and we could see the target of 9 and 11 and higher. I was thinking, well, it might be my last chance to buy in, and there we go. But I'm not selling. I'm just waiting. I'll be buying more. I'll wait probably a couple of days, see if the stock builds up a momentum. If it keeps falling down, you just set the target. But yeah, I'm fairly, again, this is not financial advice. Don't follow me for my trades, because as well as I'm making money, I'm losing money. Don't follow me. I'm not perfect. I haven't done.
Same with me. I mean, you just said you listened to my chart analysis, you got a bit bullish, and you sort of FOMO'd in. That was the emotion. So that's an important lesson for most people. We don't get it right all the time. And when you look at the chart, we bounced off $6. It was looking bullish, ready for the next target. But again, we were in the middle of no man's land. We already missed the target of $6 to buy back in. The potential target was $9. But with a stock like this, with any stock, but particularly with a stock with a $500 million market cap, one piece of bad news comes and there go the charts until all you start seeing is potential levels of support, and that's what we're looking at right now: $4.85 and then $3.50. So it's an important lesson, and we should share it with everyone, because every time you think there's never going to be another chance, there's always another chance. That's one thing I've learned.
Yep, I agree, 100%. Yeah, and you could see the reaction after hours. It was 22% down, and then in the morning before the market opened, it actually dipped even lower, and we were up to 31 or 32% down. That was the lowest point today. So yeah, again, as for me as a long-term investor, great opportunity, because I know the company fundamentals. And what you can see, the video actually we are watching, it's an exclusive unique video from friend of our channel, YDM Aviation, Colin Norwood. He's covered pretty much every single flight or piloted flight of this aircraft. Vertical Aerospace have started, what you can see in there, that is their phase 3 of their testing flights. And phase 1 was unpiloted, phase 2 was piloted, vertical maneuvers, and the aircraft was, phase 1 was tethered, the phase 2 was untethered. So the aircraft moved a bit like a helicopter, vertically up, forward, and vertically down. Now we are into phase 3, where the aircraft moves just horizontally. So this maneuver is called CTOL, conventional takeoff and landing. And this aircraft acts like your traditional aeroplane. So basically you have an aeroplane with 8 rotors. Vertical Aerospace are very confident in the performance and safety of this aircraft because the market leaders, we know Archer, they have accumulated about an hour of piloted hours across 5 flights, not massive distance. Joby, they are obviously clocking in multiple hours a day, multiple miles. They are doing up to 8 flights a day on one aircraft, which is it's a good ramp up. But they also started with very short flights. Vertical, they just put a pilot in their aircraft, put him in the cockpit, and off you go, mate. Come back when you when you feel tired or when you feel lonely. They have been doing 30-40 mile flights, and if you think of it, it's just a prototype experimental aircraft, and they just put life being their most valuable asset, their human resource, their pilot, their test pilot, their chief test pilot, actually, Simon Sy Davies. And he just goes for a 30-40 mile trip, 1,500 miles in the air, 1,500 feet in the air. That's amazing. That sends me very strong message that they are confident in their aircraft. So
Yeah.
that
I've got a
I think
random question, Vaz. Random
Go on.
question. Have you seen
on.
I think it's James May on a YouTube channel who did a race against Richard Hammond? Was he in an EVTOL or was he not? Was he in an electric plane or something?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I
You need
thought
to
if
send
it
me
was
a
an
link.
EVTOL, you'd probably
need-
know. So it probably wasn't an EVTOL. Don't worry. Carry on. It just reminded me of it.
You need to send me a link.
Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, so this aircraft, not only this particular aircraft, but this technology is the VTOL, stands for vertical takeoff and landing maneuver, which you can see in there. The aircraft takes off vertically, transitions into horizontal flight, and then lands vertically again. The E stands for electric. So the aircraft is green. There are virtually zero emissions on the actual aircraft. The aircraft is much safer because if you look at this is basically an improved helicopter. This is the step up of a helicopter. If you look at a helicopter, it's got 1 or 2 rotors. If that fails, you don't have. Yes, there are certain maneuvers you can do, but you don't have much chance of recovery. And we have witnessed this few months ago in New York, where actually a helicopter crashed into the Hudson. There were like 6 or 7 fatalities. So
it happens all the time, doesn't it? I mean, that's one example, but all over the world, helicopter crashes are very common. So it's not even just that one example; they happen all the time.
Yeah. So this one in particular has got 8 rotors. If 1 or 2 of them fail, the aircraft still have enough thrust that it can either finish the flight or it can perform emergency landing. It's also much cheaper than a helicopter. If you think of probably a flight hour of a helicopter, just a shot from the hip, I would say $850 per hour. This one, we are in tens of dollars. So we are probably 10 times cheaper. So we are greener, safer, cheaper, quieter as well. If you look at helicopter noise levels, they are between 80 and 110 decibels. This one is between 50 and 70 decibels, depending on manufacturer and aircraft. But this is the difference what you get between your electric vehicle and your combustion engine vehicle. So the same noise level, same noise difference.
But it's much more important for a vehicle like this to have those stats of being completely different to it. I mean, it's all great saying, well, we're comparing this to an ICE vehicle versus an electric vehicle. We can see the differences there, but when you're comparing an electric helicopter, electric taxi, an EVTOL compared to a helicopter, it's actually so much more important. Those changes are much bigger than what we're just saying. Well, it's a bit more quieter, it's safer. Those are the fundamental things that make this a completely different technology. The reason these are going to be so successful is because the level of comfort in terms of hearing, you wouldn't be able to have helicopters aren't the best taxis because the comfort is awful. The noise. The second thing, the safety. Well, these are 10 times safer. how much cheaper are these? These are fundamentally cheaper. All of these things that we're saying, we're not just listing off some features. It's not the same as a nice vehicle versus an electric vehicle. This makes this product a game changer. It makes it a whole industry. These little differences that you might just think are, not you Percy, but the viewers might just think are little things that we're listing off. This makes this a massive industry, those little things that we're listing off here. And I just wanted to make that clear for the viewers.
Well, the last thing I'm going to say is the biggest advantage is we are not commuting on two-dimensional plane. We are putting in the third dimension. So if you think of city like Los Angeles, New York, where you have traffic and you can be stuck in there for a couple of hours, this one just takes off and flies over the traffic. And thinking of an hour commute condensed down to 10 minutes is just massive advantage, especially for managers or people who sort of live in the fast lane and who are making a lot of money. Time is money for these people, and rather than being stuck in the traffic, they can be the extra hour in their office, or they can have another meeting, or they can have another lunch.
There's
no
doubt that there is apps in my mind, and surely in your mind, there's no doubt that there won't be a customer base for this. There's no doubt that the demand won't be skyrocketed for this. There is, in my mind, and I'll let you give your thoughts as well in a second, but I would think as they come out, they're going to be fully booked. I mean, you wouldn't be able to get. I mean, the demand I see as sky high. It will take a very long time for there to be too much supply of these vehicles and companies that are producing these vehicles. What are your thoughts on that specifically?
Yeah, we will. Well, we can witness and prove this actually as early as next year. The first market that will adopt this aircraft will be, as you can see, is now taking off vertically. That will be the Mid East, in particular United Arab Emirates. Multiple companies have already carried out test flights in whether Dubai or Abu Dhabi. We know Archer, they commenced their venture last week with a short hover. Joby have been clocking in many flights a day, many flight miles. But we are looking at probably first passenger flights as early as first or second quarter of 2026. So we are literally months away from seeing these carrying passengers on board.
And will that be in is that, I know it's not a test flight, but is that real customers? Is that like I'll draw a parallel to what's happening with robo taxis right now. Yes, real customers are getting in, but it's just a test stage and people are paying $4. We don't actually know if the demand's there. Are they here to stay? When they're doing these tests later on this year, is that the product finally out and it's just the natural way, or is it like what's going on with robo taxis right now in Texas, where it's a small area, a set fee that they don't really care about? It's just all about testing.
Right. What's going on now is purely test flights. They need
later this year.
They need to. That will be probably till the end of the year. They need to try if they can adapt to the environment, because you have high temperatures, you have very low temperatures in the night as well. So massive temperature swings. You have humidity. You have a lot of sand, dust, wind. It's just you need to make sure your aircraft can withstand these conditions. So probably till the end of the year, we will see just test flights, and then everything goes okay. And the certification, the GCAA, the regulatory body of the United Arab Emirates Aerospace, clears this. I think as early as first quarter or second quarter 2026, we can actually see first commercial flights.
When was that? Early 2026, did you say?
Yeah.
For vertical aerospace.
Not for vertical, sorry. That'll be Joby, Archer, Volocopter, Beta Technologies.
Yeah, and if you can give us just a little bit more insight once again about the drop in the stock price, and also maybe some timelines on vertical and how they're maybe different to the two big players, Joby and Archer.
That's a great question. very tailored. uh, yeah, I'm glad you asked, because Vertical, they know their position. They are not trying to chase the market leaders. They are not trying to take on Archer and Joby to raise billions and try to compete with them. They know their position. They know they are just relatively small company compared to them. They are their business model is much more efficient. They basically achieved the same what Archer have done for about fifth of the operational cost. So Archer, who boasts with a balance sheet of almost $2 billion, Vertical Aerospace actually carried out first piloted CTOL flight before them, before the market leader, for much less money. So that's why I'm confident in the company. They know their position. They obviously struggle with money, with the financing, but the dilution happening now that bought them another probably couple of quarters. So they should be set until summer 2026. So they have about a year's time to keep proving their aircraft, which you can see on the screen, is working, is performing, is delivering. And also Vertical Aerospace have been working on a hybrid power unit. And the power unit fits into this very aircraft. You just change the configuration, and that will increase the range of this aircraft tenfold. So we are looking at market leading range of 1,000 miles. So if Vertical can focus on this with the raised funds, and they can prove the aircraft is working to their expectations and to their design, that no doubt that can attract a lot of interesting institutional investors. So that's basically what Vertical have done. They are not trying to bump salaries or bonuses of the directors. They are not trying to spread themselves too wide. They are basically securing operational money, and they are trying to focus on this hybrid platform as we are.
Has this drop in stock price today made you feel any less bullish about Vertical, or increased any fears for you?
I wouldn't be surprised if we see some from analysts. We will see some price target corrections. The current ones were about between $13 and $15 for this for next 12 months. I wouldn't be surprised if it drops to $10, $11. But if you look at the current price, it's still 2x. And we are not, as I said, for Vertical Aerospace, you need to be long term. That's a very long journey, which can have very good rewards, very good yields. So yes, I was a bit gutted because, as I said, I bought literally an hour before the market close yesterday. But yeah, I can see this as a good investment opportunity. It's not changing anything in the aircraft performance. It's not changing anything in the business model. It's not changing anything in the flight path 2030, which is their business strategy. Yeah, they have just secured more money, unfortunately at the cost of the investors, but it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they have to. I mean, it would be worse for the investors if they don't have money and it drives it to zero, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So,
Actually, me as an investor, I was thinking about it this morning when I was having my breakfast in the hotel. I'm actually happy for the company, and it's better position for me now because they have more time to prove their concept. They have more time to roll out the hybrid aircraft, and they can attract more investors. So yeah, I'm not saying I'm happy. I'm not waggling my tail, but long term, it could be a good thing for the company
yeah.
and
Well,
me
we've
as
got a
a
new
long
quote
term
from you:
investor.
"Waggling the tail." That's a new one, Vaz.
Wagging the
I'll put
tail.
that on a mug. But there we go. I think we've covered it. I think we've covered this fairly in depth for this video. So do make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you enjoyed it. Vaz does have a weekly Saturday show where he will probably go into more detail. He will have it in the newsletter for you guys, and he'll talk about the other EVTOL companies. A lot going on this week, so I'm sure he'll have a lot to cover. So do join Vaz on Saturday. I'll try and put a link at the end of this video as well. There'll also be Vaz's X below in the description as well, because he does give you updates very frequently on X. Even when he was working in Ireland, he came out with a very good thread on Vertical.
I don't wanna
Go
I don't
ahead.
wanna say, I don't wanna say anything, but I was there first again.
Yeah,
Bread and
first
butter
again,
now.
bringing up, telling us all about it um, um, on his X. So I love that. I think we'll end the video here, but you do want to tune into Vaz because he will tell you a lot more. Any final thoughts, Vaz, before I end the video?
Yeah, vertical aerospace is there for a long ride. I don't recommend trading it because it's the most volatile stock on the eVTOL market. But if you are confident in the company, uh, perhaps just give it a bit of time. If you're not confident, or if you're not comfortable buying in now, give it a bit of time. Wait for the stock to build up some momentum. Wait for some positive news. If the company will prove they are on the track, uh, yeah, definitely follow us for more
Saab
updates because
Shergill
we are.
donated $5 through a super chat. Hi Vazan Sensei, what do you think of Surf Air Mobility and Palantir purchase of 20% stake of the company?
I'll let Vaz answer that one. Did you know about this, Vaz?
No, to be fair, I didn't. But that's just giving me the autonomous module sentiment. I will have a look into that, and I will give you an update on Saturday.
Yeah.
Definitely, there'll be one of the main topics on Saturday. I will do a bit more diligence and research. So tune in on Saturday for my live eVTOL show. I'll definitely be focusing on this. Thanks for pointing this out, Sab. I forgot my trail.
No, you're about the end anyway.
Wait for the company, wait for the updates, and definitely tune into us and follow us because we are pretty much the only channel regularly covering vertical aerospace. Nobody else is interested in this company. So, and we actually had vertical live on the show. We
Yeah.
might see them soon again, but I don't want to spoil anything. So
Yeah, well,
don't
let's
tell
not say
anyone.
too much. We love it. Thank you, Vaz, so much. There'll be 2 videos up here for you guys to watch. Make sure you subscribe and hit the like button because you will get more of this content. A very exciting sector, and no one better than Vaz to cover it. So until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.